Dr. Amanda Cormier from Veterinary Center, Parker, and today I want to talk about some tips and tricks for new kittens. So, I'm gonna kind of walk through this guide, and we made this available for both puppies and kittens. So we're gonna scroll through some stuff. I made another video for puppies, but I wanted to focus just on kittens to make it a little bit clearer. This is a healthy start for your new pet. Veterinary Center. So again, I'm just gonna scroll through the puppy stuff. That's in a different video, and look at the kitten stuff. So this is kind of a timeline of what you're going to expect in terms of vet visits. Kind of the youngest people get kittens is 6 to 8 weeks, usually 8 weeks, especially if you're getting them from a breeder shelters, because they're kind of guessing on age. Usually around 8 weeks would be the youngest. And then we're going to want to see them every 4 weeks for their next set of vaccines through 16 weeks or 4 months. And then we'll want to see them for blood work before the spay or neuter if they're not spayed or neutered already, and then kind of 5 to 6 months is when we want to do that spay or neuter. So, and then we can do the microchip at the spay or neuter or earlier. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Okay, so let's kind of look at what vaccines that we're recommending for cats. So the first one is feline distemper, and it's a combination of 3 diseases: rhinotracheitis, calicivirus, and panleukopenia. They can spread rapidly. They usually affect the respiratory, nervous system, and gastrointestinal tract, and they can be life-threatening diseases. And because we want the kitten to have the best life they can, we start these, and we have to give them a series of boosters to make sure they're getting all the immunity that they need. So that's this one. The next one is rabies. So rabies is a disease that comes in contact with saliva. So they have to be bit by an infected animal. In Colorado, that's typically a skunk or raccoon. Those are kind of the main reservoir population. But the scary part is that it can be fatal, but also it can be transmitted to people, and people can die from this too. So we do recommend rabies. That's just 1 dose at 16 weeks. And finally, the last vaccine that we talk about is feline leukemia virus. So this helps protect the pet. This disease affects the immune system and can cause some types of cancers. It's spread through saliva with other cats. So it's recommended if there's a lot of cats in the household, or for cats that go outside, because they're going to come in contact with other cats. I do usually like to do this, at least as kittens, so they at least have some immunity on board. So this one's a 2-series vaccine, so 12 and 16 weeks. And then depending on the lifestyle of that cat, we may decide they don't need another one. Depending on the lifestyle, we may decide they don't need this one. So definitely something to talk to us about. But usually I do like to do that one in kittens, just so they have that immunity, just since we can't predict what's going to happen ever in their life. At least having that first set of 2 can be really beneficial. Then deworming. So kittens, everything's going in their mouth. That's how they learn about the world. But that also means that they're susceptible to intestinal parasites. Their immune systems aren't great in general. So checking their stool sample, making sure they don't have anything, but also deworming, making sure we're deworming for the proper thing as well. So that's important too. So microchips, like we talked about, we can do that at the spay or neuter, or we can do it at any time. It's just kind of a big needle, so usually we like to do it when they're sleeping. And so we get this question sometimes. So a microchip isn't a GPS tracker. All it is a little encoded number. So we scan the microchip, we get that number, we put it into a website. It gives us ways to contact you so that we can reunite you with your pet. Typically they last for the life of the pet, so that's not a problem, but we do check them regularly just because sometimes they won't work anymore. But also making sure when you move to update it, so that way you can always help your cat. Some cats don't wear collars, some cats get the collars off, so that's a really great way, in case they ever do get out, that we can make sure that they're safe. Okay, and then blood work. So we're going to want to do a feline leukemia test before they get the feline leukemia vaccine. So that we may do at 12 weeks of age. The other thing is, before we spay or neuter them, we're going to want to do blood work to make sure they're healthy before we put them under anesthesia. And it's generally just nice to do blood work regularly. That way we have a baseline. We can make sure we're not missing anything externally. So that's something we'll want to talk to you about as well. Okay, so we do have wellness plans for kittens. Um, we're going to do another video that's a little bit more in depth on this, but just know that this is an option and it can be really beneficial to kind of spread out some of those payments or to kind of make sure we're getting everything included. The goal of these is preventative care. It's not an insurance plan. It doesn't cover. So let's look at some more tips for kittens. So they're going to have a lot of visits, like we just talked about. They're going to be coming in every 4 weeks, and then for the spay and neuter as well. Sorry, there's a cat on my lap and she's distracting. Carriers. So you're going to need to use a carrier to get your kitten to the vets. So getting them used to that is going to be really important. Leave it out in your house. Let them go in and out it whenever they want. Leave treats in it. All those great things can really make it less scary. Hiding it in the closet and only pulling it out when you come to the vet, they're going to know that that's not something they want to be involved in and definitely run from you. And we regularly get calls of a cat that's supposed to come in and the owner can't find them, and so we have to reschedule. So starting when they're young can be really helpful to get them used to that. Nutrition, so important. Kittens are growing. They're all over the place. We want to make sure we're feeding them the best. Nutrition is so individualized to the kitten, but also to the family. So talk to us about what you want to feed, what ideas we have for your particular pet. I always like to start off with a kitten food at least, because that's going to have the correct balance of minerals and vitamins and calories for a growing kitten. So keep that in mind when you're looking. But we're more than happy to talk to you about different options that will work best for you. Okay, litter boxes. Super important. We don't want a cat that can't use a litter box. So when you are getting a tiny 8-week-old kitten, they're usually only about 2 pounds. So getting a smaller litter box with low sides, that's going to be so much easier for them to get in and out of. It's going to set them up for really good success. Also, leaving it open will make it less scary for them as they're trying to figure out what they're supposed to do in it. Most kittens automatically go in, they're happy, they know what they're supposed to do, but using these things to set them up for the best success. Clean it every day. If you have multiple cats, clean it multiple times a day. If you have multiple cats, you should also have multiple litter boxes. So usually my rule of thumb is 1 more litter box than the number of cats. So if you have 3 cats, you should have 4 litter boxes. Again, it's going to depend on your house and your setup and all that stuff. And so it's all individualized, but all of these tips can really help provide the best. So not to say that you have to keep an open low litter box forever, but something to kind of to work up to instead of starting with. So this is a lot of information. A lot of it is individualized too for your own cat. So definitely reach out to us. You can call us, you can email us. We have an app too. If you use this QR code, you can download our app and you can message us through the app. This is my cat who's tired of me talking. So definitely reach out to us however you want. We're happy to answer any and all of your questions. It doesn't have to be only at your vet visit. Also, we have a lot of great information on our website, bcparker.net. You can also scan this QR code. All of our previous videos are posted on there along with on our social media sites. So please look out for those. There's a lot of really great information. And again, we're always happy to answer any questions that you have. We love cats. We love being a resource for the community, and we just want you and your cat to have the best relationship you possibly can, and that really helps have a healthy cat. So here's where you can find us, and I apologize for my cat. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your new kitten.